What's up, guys? It's KB. Make sure you subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Click the bell icon down below so you don't miss a single video from us. And thanks for tuning in to another video from Underground Sports Philadelphia. Now let's get into it.
Philadelphia, baby, you're going to love it. Best sports fans in the world. Actually, the worst, but that's what makes them the best.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome into episode number 831 of Underground Sports Philadelphia, presented by the city of Vineland. It's your boy KB coming at you solo dolo to hopefully get your week started off on the right foot, get it started off on the left foot, and just talk some good old-fashioned Philadelphia sports. We're going to talk some Philadelphia Phillies as we have a final opening day roster. We have Justin Crawford jersey analytics to get into. We're going to talk about the NCAA tournament and the opening weekend, all that good stuff. We're going to catch you up to date and up to speed with the standings in Underground Madness. And we'll talk a little Flyers and Sixers because it seems like those two teams are hot right now. Look at them. When everyone forgot about them, they started to get hot once again. We will talk about both of them as well to round out the show. But before we get into everything, make sure you guys are following us on the socials at Underground PHI across the board. We're on every social platform. It helps when you follow us, interact with us on social. We achieved over 4,000 followers on Twitter. We're on that road to 5K. We're looking to get to 2K on Instagram now. We need to get those Instagram followers up. Please follow us on Instagram at Underground PHI. Follow us on TikTok. We're very close to 500 followers on TikTok. LinkedIn, Threads, Facebook. We're on every social platform. Please, please, please follow us on the socials. Subscribe to the podcast on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts in audio form. Leave us a 5-star rating and review. It goes a long, long way for helping this show continue to grow. Helps more people find Underground Sports Philadelphia, plus all of our podcasts here at Underground Industry. So please continue subscribing on Apple and Spotify and leaving those 5-star ratings and reviews. And subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel, youtube.com/@Underground Sports Philadelphia. That is where you get full video episodes of this show twice a week, full video episodes of the original 6 shows on our network as videos, and then every other show is also collabed down in the collaboration section of the channel. So the house show with Pat Pitts, like the Flamin' Olympics podcast, anything new that may pop up in the future, it is all in the collabs tab, plus all of our original 6 shows on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/@Underground Sports Philadelphia. We are at 1,270 subscribers. Can we get to 1,300 before next weekend's action of the NCAA tournament? Can we make that happen? youtube.com/@Underground Sports Philadelphia. Leave a like on the video, drop a comment in the comment section, and click that bell icon so you know whenever new videos go live. And as you all know, unless you're new to the show, then you're just finding out for the very first time. But most of you know, this show is proudly presented by the city of Vineland, and the city of Vineland Municipal Calendar features city-organized, city-sponsored, and city-affiliated events that are of public interest. The calendar, which is accessible at vinelandcity.org, is a good way for residents and visitors to to build awareness, remain engaged with city government, and participate in local events. You can also follow the City of Vineland on social media via their Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube pages. And through these tools, you can stay connected to the community and get important announcements about programs and services offered by the city, Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season. A big thank you to Security 21 Security Systems and Paul J. Gillespie Incorporated for their continued support of this podcast.
Hello, I'm Mayor Anthony Fanucci. Vineland, New Jersey offers both a great business location and an outstanding quality of life. But don't just take my word for it, the experts agree. We're proud to be recognized as a premier food processing and logistics hub, one of New Jersey's most affordable and desirable cities, and one of the best places to retire in the country. Visit vinelandcity.org and see how our resources can work for you. Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season.
We will start from spring training. as the Philadelphia Phillies have a roster, ladies and gentlemen. They have a completed roster for opening day. The opening day roster was announced this afternoon, late morning, early afternoon. I have it right here for the people. A lot of these were kind of moves that I expected. Some of them were a bit of a surprise. Since we last spoke, a couple of things have transpired with the Phils, but nonetheless, the Phillies roster, your infielders, Bryce Harper, Bryson Stott, Trey Turner, Alec Boehm, Edmundo Sosa, and Dylan Moore makes the roster as kind of the 26th man, kind of a jack of all trades, master of none. Can play all around the diamond, infield, outfield, so he is on the bench with Edmundo Sosa, Rafael Marchand, Otto Kemp, and those are your bench players. So it's Harper, Stott, Turner, Boehm, Sosa, Moore. Your catchers, JT Realmuto and Rafael Marchand. Brandon Marsh, Brandon Marsh, Justin Crawford, Adolis Garcia, Otto Kemp. Your outfielders. Your starting rotation to start the season, Christopher Sanchez, which we will get into Christopher Sanchez's new contract, Aaron Nola, Jesus Luzardo, Taijuan Walker, Andrew Painter, and then your bullpen, Joan Duran, Brad Keller, Jose Alvarado, Tanner Banks, Jonathan Bolin, Zach Pop, Kyle Backus, and Tim Meza. Starting on the injured list, Zach Wheeler, Orion Kerkering, and Max Lazar, and of course your designated hitter, Kyle Schwarber. So looking at the roster here, from just a pure, just looking at it on paper, infield is still wildly solid, especially after the spring that Stott and Boehm have had. I'm looking forward to Harper building off the World Baseball Classic kind of tail end. Trey Turner kind of just doing what Trey Turner does. Edmundo Sosa. We'll see what Dylan Moore ends up being. Will he be here long term? That remains to be seen. Marsh, Crawford, Garcia. After the spring training Justin Crawford had, I can say I'm a lot more optimistic about this outfield than I was going into the spring. Now, the only issues I really have are the depth in the outfield, not bashing Otto Kemp whatsoever. It is just the outfield feels very similar in a lot of ways. Justin Crawford this spring, 50 at-bats, 10 runs, 13 hits, 2 RBI, 3 stolen bases, 260 average, 302 on base percentage, 662 OPS. Do want to see him walk a little bit more to get on base and use that speed to his advantage, and kind of cut down on the strikeouts just a smidge. But nonetheless, he's 22 years old, getting his first crack in the majors. I'm excited. Now, Sanchez, Nola, Luzardo, Walker, Painter. You guys know I've been hype about this rotation all along. And then when Zach Wheeler eventually comes into this rotation, Hachi Machi. The bullpen. I was not expecting Zach Pop to make the roster. Kind of a surprise, but Orion Kerkering going on the injured list, Max Lazar going on the injured list, it kind of created room for him and for Tim Meza to make the team. So we'll see how they do in the first couple of weeks as Kirk and Lazar kind of get right. But you look at Duran, Keller, Alvarado, Banks, Kyle Backus, and Bolin had awesome springs. That's 6 deep that I just listed off in the bullpen there. Like, when is the last time the Phillies were 6 deep in guys that, like, you had more than 65% trust in? And those guys I probably have, like, 75% trust in right now with the stuff they showed, with the way they pitched this spring. I am excited about this bullpen. Like, this bullpen is going to be one of the best we've seen in not only this era of Phillies baseball, but quite frankly, maybe in our lifetime if you're a 90s baby. Like, we had Brad Lidge and Ryan Madsen. We had J.C. Romero. But, like, as a collective bullpen, this is the most excited I've been for a pen maybe ever. And that makes me giddy. When you have a rotation like you do, that Sanchez, Nola, Luzardo, for right now, your top three are going to go 7 innings on a normal night. Then you can just go Alvarado, Keller, Duran. You can go Bolin, Keller, Duran. You can go Backus, Alvarado, Keller. Like, you have options in this bullpen that makes it very exciting. And that's going to be awesome for this team in the early go of the season. That's going to be awesome for this team in the late go of the season. And in those matchups that you need to utilize your bullpen. You know, Taijuan Walker, he's not going to go 9 innings. He's not going to go 7 innings. So you're going to need bullpen guys. And then Andrew Painter's getting his feet under him. You'll see how long he goes in games. The bullpen's going to be relied upon pretty heavily in this first month of the season, every 4th and 5th day, I think, you know, until we see what Painter delivers in real major league action, not spring training action. I'm not doubting him, but it's his first go in the majors. Like, there's going to be hiccups. I'm not, like, saying he's going to be perfect. And Taijuan Walker is going to be a guy that goes 4 or 5 innings and just grinds it out for you. And then you're going to need the guys like Tanner Banks and Bolin and Pop and Backus and Tim Meza to really hold it down in the 6th, the 5th, in certain games. So I love the makeup of this bullpen. And overall, I think my only complaint about this team right now is just kind of the every outfielder feels similar in a lot of ways. But if Adolis Garcia continues to hit home runs the way that he has over the past week and a half, 2 weeks or so, this lineup is looking pretty solid. I would like to see them go Turner, Harper, Schwarber, Bohm, Garcia, Stott, Marsh, Real Muto, Crawford. Hit JT lower towards the end of the lineup. Stott's been raking. I mean, I want to pull up Bryson Stott's stats here this spring because he's been turning on the ball. He's finding his power stroke. Spring training. Stott's hitting .359. OPS of 1,076. On-base percentage, .435. Those are all vast improvements from his regular season numbers from last year. Obviously, it's spring training, so you got to grade it how you will. But if Bryson Stott's going to play like that, look out, world. Because, like, Stott is a dark horse Gold Glove winner for me this year. Like, this is the year he gets over the hump and into the eyes of the voters and wins the Gold Glove. And if he's going to hit like this too, that is a huge beneficiary to this Phillies lineup, no matter where you hit him. So I think looking at it now, like, you go Turner to lead off. I would love to have Harper hit second, Schwarber hit third, Bohm, Garcia, maybe even Marsh, Stott, and then that way Stott can lead off kind of the tail end of the lineup, and you go Stott, Real Muto, Crawford to end the lineup. I don't know. It's a good problem to have right now. Like, the way that Bryson Stott is playing. I want to look up Brandon Marsh's numbers really quick to kind of just see where they compare to Stott this spring. Yeah, I mean, Marshy, not the best spring. 37 at-bats, 6 hits, 1 RBI, hitting 162. You want to see better from Mark, but he's always been a guy who started off kind of slow. So we'll see how things kind of roll out once he gets going. And when he finds his stuff, he's on. So I don't know if you hit Stott in front of him or if you hit him in front of Stott, but one way or another, this lineup is going to produce, in my opinion. And we'll see how long it lasts. You know, you gotta You got to hope for this lineup to produce. That is the big, kind of question mark surrounding this team, is what this lineup will do, especially with a rookie in there. First time that we're having a rookie on the roster since Bryson Stott, pretty much, and Bohm, to really start a season with Justin Crawford. I don't know. I'm feeling like pleasantly optimistic about this lineup right now, and I know people are probably going to criticize me for that, but I don't know. It's something that looks good on paper, and obviously they got to play the games, but the way that this lineup looks right now, I'm pretty A-okay with it. Shout out to Bryson Stott. Garrett Stubbs does not make the roster. The Phillies are apparently looking for a trade, and if he's not traded by Wednesday, they will DFA him. End of a run, Stubbs had his go. Definitely somebody who was very well liked in the clubhouse, somebody who brought a lot of, vibes, obviously. But unfortunately, things change, and when you have a catcher who defensively, like Rafael Marchand, can, call a game and have the pop time that he does to throw runners out, and, very evidently it helps when you have, guys like Sanchez in the rotation that you can kind of trust him with any catcher. You have guys like Luzardo, you can kind of trust him with any catcher. We'll see who Marchand kind of ends up being the catcher for. If it's Painter, if it's Nola, who JT catches, who Marchand catches. But I think some continuity there and having a good defensive catcher as your backup is a plus. And I'm not saying Stubbs was a bad defensive catcher, but you can't, in the long run, losing Marchand would be more of a detriment for the long term of this team than it would be with losing Stubbs, unfortunately. Because the Phillies do not have any young catching depth that's anywhere remotely close to being ready if something were to happen. And I think you can trust Marchand to catch in a bulk allotment of games, and kind of turn the bat a little bit. He wasn't great swinging the bat, and I had my gripes with Rafael Marchand last year. He only hit .210 in 42 games, but he showed signs in 2024 when he played in just 17 games, and I think it'll come now that he's getting another chance and kind of knows, hey, this is my role. I'm not, at risk, really, of losing this backup spot, and I can kind of focus on the things I need to focus on. It's just kind of the changing the guard. Everyone bitched and moaned about, running it back, and, Marchand is kind of the guy now. And it's unfortunate for Garrett Stubbs, but I'm sure he'll land on his feet. He's a very smart student of the game. He can call a game really well, and if a team needs a backup catcher, there's probably not that many good ones out there that would supplant Garrett Stubbs. So wishing him the best of luck, whether it's, he ends up taking a minor league spot with the Phils or ends up going elsewhere. Wish him nothing but the best, and it was a hell of a run. But it is Rafael Marchand time, full send, and I don't know, on paper right now, this Phillies lineup, and knowing that we have the full roster now in front of us, it's like a B minus roster, because I view Otto Kemp as a Swiss Army knife, and it's so strange viewing him as an outfielder almost, because he just plays everywhere. It's tough to give him an actual roster designation, but he hit .240, an .881 OPS, 4 home runs this spring in 50 at bats, right-handed bat off the bench, which is huge. And you have Mundo Sosa there, who's kind of your everyday first guy off the bench, who hit .310 this spring. Just hitting the ball really well. I like the roster right now. I think it'll improve too once you get Kerkery and Lazar back, and obviously Wheeler. You probably see Pop and Meza go down, or Lazar stays down. But I think Pop gets removed for Kirk. And then that bullpen's really looking good. Like, I know Kerkering had the issues last year in the playoffs. I get it. I truly do. I truly understand. But it's one of those things that you got to move on from it. You know, you can't dwell on a postseason moment that, at the end of the day, like, it sucks it happened, but if you want to improve as a team, you want to improve as a fan, you got to just leave it in the past and move forward. You can't hold that over his head. I'm looking forward to a bounce-back season for Kirk. Hopefully a lot better with runners on base this year, too, if he needs to come in those situations. But I'm thrilled about the bullpen. The bullpen, to me, is an A+. The rotation is an A. Once Wheeler comes in, A+. The infield is B+, A-, however you want to slice and dice it. Kyle Schwarber's an A+. Outfield is like a B- until further notice. You know, you want to see what Adolis Garcia does. You want to see what Marsh does. You want to see what Crawford does. That's your biggest, kind of question mark. But defensively, I love the outfield. It's just offensively. What are they going to produce for you? So a lot to look forward to there. Speaking of the rotation, though, Christopher Sanchez today, the Phillies kind of do the unprecedented, and they ripped up Christopher Sanchez's contract and agreed to a new 6-year deal from 2027 to 2032 with a club option for 2033. The new contract guarantees Sanchez $107 million through the 2032 season, including his $3.5 million salary this season. So what it really breaks down to, I read Matt Gelb's article. His contract numbers kind of stay the same for the 3 years that were on the contract. And I want to pull it up here. Here we go. So basically, in 2024, June of 2024, Sanchez signed a 4-year, $22.5 million deal, which, like, my gasps were flabbered when he signed that. I was blown away. So basically, this new deal, it's a restructuring of the original contract. Sanchez will make the $3.5 million this year, $6 million in 2027, and the $9 million in 2028, which was already going to happen. But the Phillies went ahead and guaranteed what had been team options in 2029 and 2030 for $14 million and $15 million, respectively. And then they tacked on 2 more guaranteed years in 2031 and 2032, valued at $30 million apiece. And then there's a new team option in 2033 that starts at $32.5 million and could rise in value with various performance incentives. So basically, he made $47 million. He was going to make $47 million through 2030. He gets $60 million in new money on this deal. People were up in arms about this on social media, being like, this is unprecedented. This changes like so much. And I'm like, no, this is an awesome thing that John Middleton and Dave Dombrowski did for a player who has proven his worth beyond the expectation of that contract that he originally signed just not even 2 full seasons ago. They are showing belief in a guy that, like, hey, we think you are better than what we signed you for. We are going to do right by you as a player. That, to me, is not only, hey, this organization cares about the players, which we already knew. It also shows to future free agents, hey, if you come in and perform, we're going to take care of you. That's a huge benefit for this organization, not only for the now, but for the future. That is something that will stick with players, and I'm a huge fan for how they treated Christopher Sanchez with this new contract. I'm thrilled he signed long-term. He is going to be kind of the ace once Zach Wheeler calls it a career. You're going to have him, Luzardo, Nola, Painter, all locked up long term. That's a huge, huge deal for this team. Like we talked about a couple episodes ago, like having sustainable starting pitching is what wins you World Series. And the Phillies have had that for a majority of this era of Phillies baseball, which is so massive because when it was 07 to 11, that's what the Phillies thrived on. Plus the bats showed up for the most part. Now the bats got to show up for a lot of part with this era of Phillies baseball if they want to get over the hump and finally win a World Series. Locking up Christopher Sanchez long-term, new money, kind of says like, hey, you're our guy. I love this move by the Phillies. I love it for Christopher Sanchez. It is a big, big deal, and I am very, very happy about it. To put it frankly as I can. Like, I'm thrilled about this contract for Christopher Sanchez. The other bit of news from spring training, Justin Crawford, jersey analytics. He will be wearing number 2 for the Philadelphia Phillies. I love this move. You know, we kind of discussed a couple weeks ago, like what jersey number would he wear once he switches from his spring training number 80. He will wear number 2. Obviously, Rafael Marchand wears number 13. That was his dad's number, Carl Crawford, when he was playing in Major League Baseball. So I thought there was an outside chance there could be a number swap there. But Justin Crawford going with number 2, which evidently enough, his cousin, former Phillies prospect J.P. Crawford, also wore number 2 with the Philadelphia Phillies and currently wears number 2, if I'm not mistaken, with the Seattle Mariners. I think it's a cool move. I think it's really sick that, you know, he wears number 3 with the Mariners, excuse me. I think it's a really cool move that he's wearing number 2. It's going to be sick to see. I'm going to see if I can find it. I wonder if I go on eBay right now, if there is a random sicko selling a J.P. Crawford Phillies jersey. Let's see. We're doing a little eBay search here. Ooh, it's signed. Oh, if that wasn't signed, I would immediately purchase that. There's a J.P. Crawford signed jersey on eBay. Oh, man. That's a bummer. Because if it wasn't signed, boom, I'd be in there. There's my new Justin Crawford jersey. Because it would be the Majestic era. Because that's when JP was with the Phillies. Man, that would have been awesome. Yeah, nothing else. That's so tough. Tough. What size is this jersey? Size large. Drats. D-rats. A bummer. Oh well. I'll see if I can search one in my free time. But I do like that he's wearing number 2. It's good optics. Center fielder number, single digits. He's fast. I like number 2 for Justin Crawford. I think that's gonna look good. I gotta see what the number 2 looks like on the Philly City Connect jersey. Just to give me a visual of what that will look like as well. Okay, the 2's not terrible on the City Connect. It's the 7 that is the worst number of them all, but the 2's not awful. Not terrible. It could be worse. That is the thing. And this is coming from somebody that loves the City Connect jerseys. But Justin Crawford, number 2. Let me know in the YouTube comment section what you think about the jersey analytics there. I think it passes with flying colors. It's a lot better than what it could have been. I'm glad he's not going with number 9 I think 2 is going to look sweet on Justin Crawford. I wonder if that is updated on his baseball reference page. Nope, not yet, because he's not officially on the roster. I wonder about Andrew Painter. I want to know what jersey number Andrew Painter is going to wear, too, because that is going to be a huge development for jersey analytics. Nothing yet. Nothing yet. I wonder what jersey numbers are available. Phillies jersey numbers that are available. So 9 is available. 2 will be Crawford, last worn by Harrison Bader. I thought 0 could have been an option too, but I'm kind of glad he's not going with 0. 12 is Schwarber. 14 is retired for Jim Bunning. 15 is retired. 16 is Marsh. 17 was Kepler. 17 is available for Painter. 18 is available because Rojas is suspended. I feel like they should not hold a number for him. 19 is available. Please don't let Painter wear 19. 20 is retired. 21 is now available with Stubbs being gone. 22 is available. Painter could make 22 pretty cool. 24 is available. It's not. 25 is available with Strom's departure. 29. Andrew, if you want to pander to me. 30 is available. 31. 34 is retired. 36 is retired. 37, please no. 38, no. 39, no. 40, no. 42 is retired. 44 is Luzardo. 45 is Wheeler. 46 is Alvarado. Yeah, there's not a lot of like quality numbers really. I think for Andrew Painter, the best number to go with would be 29 to pander to me. 25. $22 is really speaking to me. $22 would be sweet. What number will I wonder if anybody's like found out. Because he's wearing 76 right now, and it's a no from me, dog. What did he wear in the minors? I forget. 16. the Iron Pigs. He wore... Can't even tell what jersey number that is with this uniform. Is it 29? Could he pander? He's not going to wear 16 because that's Marsh. It's going to be interesting. It's an interesting jersey analytics analysis for Andrew Painter. But he made the team, and that's exciting. You know, he's the first homegrown pitcher since Nola in the rotation to really, like, have this precedent. You know, it's Hamels, Nola, Painter. Obviously, Mick Abel made one start, but ended up getting traded. And Painter has been a highly touted prospect for a long time for this team. So I'm pumped. I'm pumped about the start of the season. I will be at Andrew Painter's debut on the 30th. Or the 31st, excuse me. It is the 31st, right? Andrew Painter debut. Fifth game of the season. Yeah, it's the 31st. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So I'll be there on the 31st. I got a really awesome seat. I'm pretty pumped about it. I had to go see him in person, make his debut. It just had to happen. So I will be there. If you're there, come say what's up. I'll also be at all 3 games of the opening series against the Rangers. So say what's up. But our Fight and Phil's talk there. It's the week of. Thursday's show will be the massive preview episode. Where I'm breaking down everything from over-unders to predictions to stats to my MVP of the year, all that good stuff. It's baseball season, everybody. I will also be appearing on Dad's Bet Baseball this week with the Sheffield Shuffler and our guy Adam Rosenberg, talking Phils, previewing the season. I'm pumped about that. Always love hopping on with Adam, so definitely stay tuned for that as well. But our Phil's Talk here brought to you by our friends over at Kenwood Beer, the official beer partner of Underground Sports Philadelphia. It's a refreshing light beer, just 4.1% ABV, 120 calories, just 8 grams of carbs. You guys can go to kenwoodbeer.com, use the Kenny Finder to see who's got Kenwood Beer on tap in the Philadelphia, New Jersey, Pittsburgh, Maryland, and Delaware areas. You can also find Kenwood Beer at your local liquor stores, convenience stores, and grocery stores in those markets. Just use that Kenny Finder at kenwoodbeer.com to see who has it available. Must be 21 or older to do so. And as always, guys, please drink responsibly. We move. Tourney talk time. We're going to catch up on Underground Madness for you all. Looking at the bracket here, it has been a wild, and I mean a wild, opening weekend for the NCAA tournament. Since we last spoke, which was on Friday, when was I able to drop that episode? It was on the 20th, so that dropped on Friday for you because, as you can tell, I'm still sore, but I'm feeling a bit better. Was dealing with the back issue and the shoulder issue, but we're up and running. But since we last recorded, we have had myself attending March Madness in person. We have had the bracket evolve, and I feel like I got to start with my March Madness in-person experience. Let me tell you, I put videos out on social. If you get the opportunity to attend an NCAA tournament, like opening round game, like first weekend type game, do yourself a favor and take advantage of the opportunity, because it is truly just a fun, incredible environment, an awesome experience. It was one of the better sporting events experiences like I've had as a fan for a first-time experience. Like, it was really awesome. I truly enjoyed it. It was 2 great games that I went to. I went to the night session, so I saw UCLA and UCF, and then Furman and UConn. Furman gave it their all, man. I am such a fan of Furman. Like, they are one of those teams that if I see they're in the tournament, I'm like, yeah, I like those guys. I love their mascot. They're the Paladins. And they're just gritty. They're gutsy. Like, they always show out. They always perform up to the echelon of their competition. They give UConn a run for their money for most of that game. UCLA and UCF, interesting game. UCLA kind of really had control of it for most of the game. UCF pulled close but can never get over the hump. Very bad free throw shooting team. UCLA, my biggest gripe with UCLA, if you guys know me, I'm a huge fan of, number one, I love mascots. Mascots are a huge part, especially of the college game, of any sport. Like, if you got a good mascot, I'm like, yeah, I'm in on them. Like, I got my vintage 10 years ago anniversary Villanova champion shirt on. I love this Villanova logo right here with the Wildcat. It's one of my favorite logos for Nova. UCLA has one of the best mascot logos in sports with their cartoon Bruin. The fact that they don't, number one, use that on more merchandise unless it's vintage is a tragic state of affairs. And the fact that that is not their mascot is an even bigger travesty. I just genuinely could not believe that UCLA did not have a mascot on site for their opening game against UCF. I can't believe they don't use their throwback amazing logo and amazing mascot as their actual mascot. And the fact that they don't use it on any of their gear is just such a sad state of affairs. It's brutal. UCLA, I love that logo. It is one of the best mascot logos in sports, college, professional, what have you. It is one of the best. Like, I can't get enough of it. I would wear it on any apparel, genuinely. Like, I love that logo. Love that mascot. But yeah, I mean, it was an awesome event. It was at Xfinity Mobile Arena. I hope Philadelphia is on the map to get more NCAA tournament games in the future, because they are genuinely such a fun experience. I wonder if those are mapped out. 2027 NCAA tournament sites. Let's see. 2027. So 2027, the championships in Detroit. We should be sending DJ there. That's all 2026. Here we go. So they're in Pittsburgh. Nah. I feel like they go to Pittsburgh every year. Like, this is the first year in forever they've not been to Pittsburgh. East Regionals in New York. Yeah, so they're not in Philly next year. 2028? Any chance? They're in Brooklyn. Nope. So, like, I'm glad I went now, because, like, who knows, again, when they'll be in Philly. The last time they were there was 2022, and to just take it in and be able to watch college basketball in person. Like, I'm a huge college basketball fan, and to be able to take that in as a fan and watch 4 very talented teams, like, it takes a lot to qualify for the tournament, and to watch 4 teams that did in person was really, really dope. So I was pumped about that. I was pumped to be able to take that in and kind of experience it in person and experience the madness in person. Let's see, is it on here maybe? 2020. So they just have the Final Four sites. Bummer. At least we had this year. Where's 2028? Vegas. Next year, I got to get DJ there. I got to get him there. Is he even doing man on the street? But looking at the bracket is busted. It is a busted bracket. Moving on to the round of 32 since we last spoke, it was Duke, TCU, St. John's, and Kansas, Louisville, Michigan State, UCLA, and UConn, Florida and Iowa, Vanderbilt, Nebraska, VCU and Illinois, Houston, Texas A&M, Iowa State, Kentucky, Virginia and Tennessee, Alabama, Texas Tech, St. Louis and Michigan, Purdue and Miami, Gonzaga and Texas, Arkansas and High Point, and Arizona and Utah State. First things first, I think I talked about them a little bit. The High Point student radio team, I followed them on Instagram. I need those boys on this show. I need those boys on this program. I need to chop it up with those fellas because they are an electric factory. Those boys delivered. The Jimmy and Griff show. Jimmy and Griff had the call of the opening weekend, and quite frankly, in my opinion, the call of this year's tournament. They are an electric factory. Fellas, come on the show. The Jimmy and Griff show. I would love to give it a home after you two graduate to be able to continue talking college hoops. Huge fans of these two. They are electric. I'm such a fan of Jimmy and Griff, but their call was unbelievable, and if I hadn't talked about it on the last episode, I wanted to make sure I did here. My Villanova Wildcats, terrible way to go out. Blew a double-digit lead, lose by double digits. St. John's, what a buzzer beater. They win at the buzzer. I want to pull up the tweet here because Dylan Darling scored the game-winning bucket for St. John's against Kansas today. His dad is former Eagles linebacker James Darling. That's pretty sick. Philadelphia is the center of the universe, everyone. Philadelphia is the center of the universe. Dylan, if you want to come on the show, come talk with the boys. Let's chop it up. Let's talk about your buzzer beater. I love the interaction with Coach Pitino. Would love to chop it up with you. St. John's win. They advance. They'll play Duke in the Sweet 16. UConn and Michigan State, kind of chalky there. Florida, down goes the first number one of the tournament. They lose in insane fashion to Iowa. Iowa hits just a clutch three-pointer towards the tail end of the game with like 8 seconds left. And Florida goes down. The defending champions are eliminated, the first one seed to be eliminated. They don't even make it out of the first weekend. They're gone. Iowa advances. I think Iowa is the lowest seed to advance to the Sweet 16. They will take on Nebraska, who also had an insane win by 2 points over Vanderbilt, where the ball for Vanderbilt, they put up a game-winning shot, and the ball goes halfway in the hoop and then rims out. It was pure madness. But Nebraska survives and advances to their very first Sweet 16 in school history. Illinois take down VCU to advance. Houston cruise over Texas A&M, so it'll be Houston and Illinois. Iowa State and Tennessee. Tennessee takes down Virginia, eliminates a 3 seed. So it'll be a 2v6. Alabama absolutely steamroll Texas Tech 90-65. They will take on Michigan, who steamrolled St. Louis 95-72. So a 1v4 there, a 9v4, a 3v2, and a 2v6 in the bottom half of the bracket, with the South and Midwest, who would end up meeting in the Elite Eight. Elite Eight. Like I said, Duke and St. John's, that's going to be absolute scenes. Arizona and Arkansas, that's going to be incredible. Purdue and Texas, I stand corrected, Texas is an 11 seed. They advanced to the Sweet 16. They took down Gonzaga. UConn and Michigan State. You've got Izzo, Hurley, Shire, Calipari, Kelvin Sampson advancing. Like, you've got some big-time coaches moving on. Patino, obviously. Patino versus Shire. Hurley versus Izzo. Those games are in D.C. It's going to be scenes. It was a great first weekend of this year's tournament. Like, nothing like crazy, like, upset-wise. You know, obviously, High Point, great story. Texas, they're not an underdog, but, you know, an 11 seed advancing to the second weekend. Iowa, obviously, advancing is huge. Nebraska, they're a 4 seed, but first 2 tournament wins in school history. You know, Tennessee, as a 6 seed, is moving on. Like, it was good storylines, good basketball happened this weekend. And it was just an all-around, like, entertaining first weekend for the most part. You know, it had blowouts, you had close games, you had crazy, like, one shining moment just from this weekend is going to be nuts. I can't wait. But I don't want the tournament to end. This is like my favorite time of the year. One of my favorite times of the year, man. I just love it. My bracket's doing pretty well. I got 270 of a possible 320 points in the round of 64, 220 of 320 in the round of 32. We'll see how things shake out in my Sweet 16. I don't know how many teams I lost. I got Duke and St. John's right, Michigan State and UConn right. I lost Gonzaga. That was a brutal one. I had Gonzaga beating Purdue. So if Texas beats Purdue, that's huge. I had Florida advancing to the Elite Eight, but losing. So not a terrible loss, but a loss nonetheless. I had Texas Tech beating Alabama. I had Virginia beating Tennessee. And that is really it. That's really all I lost was Gonzaga, Florida, Vanderbilt. I had Vanderbilt advancing, not Nebraska. So Florida, Gonzaga, Vanderbilt, Florida, Gonzaga, Vanderbilt are really my only big losses from the. So I have 13 of my Sweet 16 teams remaining. Not too shabby. All kind of just based on vibes. Doing good there. And taking a peek at my women's bracket too. I scored 440 points. Did not have a good round of 32. Holy moly. But they play again tomorrow. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, they play tomorrow. So the round of 32 is not complete for the women. But I've only lost 1, 2, 3, 4 teams overall, so not terrible. And my round of 32 so far, 1 win, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 by the skin of my teeth with Minnesota. I've been perfect so far in the round of 32 with the teams that have advanced. So my women's bracket looking pretty solid. But as we take a look at Underground Madness, the bracket challenge standings of our 124 entrants, we'll go through the top 10, which right now there's a bunch of ties, so we'll talk about them, and we'll give you the standings for the company as well, which it was made known to me on Outside the Box this past week, which please go listen to that if you haven't already. Our resident Michigan Wolverine, DJ Hughes, did not make a bracket this year out of superstition for his Wolverines. I couldn't believe it. It was an absolute dagger to the heart that he did not participate in our bracket challenge that he has been a part of since he joined the company in 2021. Well, 2022, technically. He joined after the tournament in 2021, but since 2022, he has made a bracket, and this year for the first time, because of superstitious feelings about Michigan, he did not make a bracket, and I am very disappointed in him. But leading the bracket challenge after the first weekend, we have a 3-way tie in points, a 2-way tie in maximum points available. Asher Barzy and Trevor Perkins are technically, in terms of tiebreaker right now, because of maximum points available, tied for first place in overall tie points-wise. At Clip 5002 is also in first place. So we have a 3-way tie in terms of total points scored, but with maximum points remaining, Asher Barzy and Trevor Perkins are your week 1 leaders in Underground Madness. NTMDTR1 at Duval Lions, Cook 1399 at Dark Arrow 576, J_Bennett, which I think is my cousin Jonathan. Shout out to him for joining the bracket challenge. He unfortunately lost his national champion with Florida. ESPN fan 11247159663. Please change your bracket name to your social media handle for me. Nick R. Jagger, but it's JA99ER. At Ford_McD29. I'm going to ask this kindly for everyone out there. NTMDTR1, if that is not your social media handle, please change it to your social media handle. ESPN fan 11247159663. Please change it to your social media handle. Nicholas R. Please change to your social media handle. Unless it is Nick Rowlett, then hello, my friend. Everyone else seems to be in the clear. Nate Liao is in 13th place. Owen leading the way. Owen Liberator. On Twitter and Instagram, pics, please change to your social media handle so I know what your Twitter and Instagram are. ESPN fan 20847511359. Please change your display name to your social media handle. But the company standings, it's Owen, Hoots, CFO Margie, and yours truly leading the way in the top 4. And rounding out the top 5 in the company is Oof, not looking good. We're on page 3 already for the rest of the people that made brackets here. Is it Steve? Steve in 101st place? Tough. The OG got ravaged this week in the round of 32. He lost Kansas. He lost Wisconsin early on. He lost BYU. He lost Louisville. He was going upsets, man. He lost Florida. Or he lost Clemson. He had Clemson over Florida. So he did get the upset right, just the wrong team. But he had Clemson over Vanderbilt. He had Texas A&M taking down Houston. He had Kentucky over Tennessee. The OG got ravaged this week. But yes, please, this is the final warning here, too. I don't want to have to keep saying this every weekend. If you are in Underground Madness 2026 and our bracket challenge, and your display name is not your social media handle, you are not eligible to win our bracket challenge. Let me repeat that. If you are in Underground Madness 2026 and your display name of your bracket is not your social media handle, so we can directly reach out to you if you happen to win the bracket challenge, you are not eligible to win the prize from 47. Plain and simple. I can't have no point of contact. So please, if your display name is not already your social media handle, please change it while we're in this downtime and make sure you're eligible. Okay? But yeah, the leaders, like I said, after weekend 1, Asher Barzy, Trevor Perkins at Clip 5002, NTM DTR1, at Duval Lions, Cook 1399, at Dark Arrow 576, J_Bennett, ESPN Fan 11247 15963, Nicholas R _JA99ER_ and at Ford McD 29 are the overall points leaders. And then the 500 Club rounds out with Nate Leal, Owen Libertor, Do Senate on Twitter and Instagram, Pix 6, Kyle KR, BPAC 4, who lost their national champion. That rounds out the 500 Club after the first weekend. Maximum points available. Kind of the same shakeout there, really, with everybody. So, like I said, change your display names if you want to remain eligible. But we've got some great matchups. We've got the group forecast here. Your boy has a 2.1% chance to win. My path to winning: Arizona to not win, Michigan to not win, Purdue to not win. I have a 9.1% chance at top 5. That'd be one of my best finishes in our tournament history. 5.9% chance to win, Asher Barzy. GKGKG has Illinois and a 5.7% chance to win. Wild stuff. 2.1% chance to win. You're saying there's a chance. Pretty sick. Love it. I love this time of the year. And there's no better way to enjoy this time of year than with our friends at 47. Guys, I'm rocking my Villanova Wildcats right now. The 2016 National Champions hat and shirt from our friends at 47. They have their collection alive right now on their website. Breaking it all down for you. The past champs tourney winners on their website right now. Check it out. They've got the collection for Duke. They've got it for UConn. They've got it for North Carolina, Arizona, Kentucky. They've got it for Florida. They've got it for UCLA. They've got it for Louisville. They've got it for Texas A&M. They've got it for Baylor. Obviously for Nova, but the hat is sold out, unfortunately for you all. They've got it for Georgetown. They've got it for Kansas. They've got it for... That's it. That is everybody. So check that out. Check out all your favorite teams. Even if you're not in the past champs collection, go check out all your favorite teams on 47's website, because right now they are running their sale. You get an extra 25% off all sale styles, plus an extra 40% off 3+ sale styles. So it knocks the percentage off, totals it up in your cart. It is a spectacular sale to take advantage of. I am taking advantage of it. I'm waiting for my order to ship, but I have an order coming that I'm very excited about. They just dropped their U.S. soccer collection. Baseball season is here. Shop your favorite teams there for MLB opening day. No better way to rep your fandom than with our friends at 47. Use our link in the description, shop with 47, and get free shipping on all orders when you join the 47 family. It is their version of a rewards program. You get points for every purchase you make, and those points go towards free gear. And I don't know about you all, but if it's free, it's for me. So use our link in the description, shop with 47, and get free shipping on all orders when you use our link to shop with 47. And we thank 47 for being a proud partner of Underground Sports Philadelphia, powering Underground Madness, and being the official headwear partner of Underground Industries. Tournament time is my favorite time of the year. And of course, when the tournament's going on, we've got the Philadelphia Flyers and the Philadelphia 76ers just popping off all of a sudden. The Flyers right now, in their last 10 or so games, they've been on fire. They've been on flyer. The Philadelphia Flyers, in their last handful of games here since the Olympic break, which play resumed February 25th. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 wins since the Olympic break. They are currently sitting with 80 points, which Flyers point totals year by year. Season by season records for the Philadelphia Flyers. Last year, the Flyers finished with 76 points. They have already surpassed their point total from a season ago, and their win total in 69 out of 82 games played. Nice. In 2023-2024, they scored 87 points total. So if they get 2 more wins and an overtime, they'll tie their point total from 2 seasons ago. They had 89 points in the 1920 season. 82 points in 2018-2019. 2017-2018, they had 98 points, which I don't think they'll get that many. I don't think they'll score 18 more points this year, but they're on fire right now. It's kind of crazy. They sitting with 80 points. They're 19-12 on the road, 19-12-4 overall, 15-11 at home. I want to pull up their remaining schedule here. So moving forward, the Flyers have games on Tuesday against the Blue Jackets. Then they play the Blackhawks, the Red Wings, the Stars, the Capitals, and that rounds out the month of March. And then they play the Red Wings again, the Islanders, the Bruins, the Devils, the Red Wings, the Jets, Hurricanes, and Canadiens. Let's see. The Red Wings, kind of middle of the pack, but kind of in the same echelon as the Flyers in terms of points and all that jazz. Canadiens, top 3 in the Atlantic Division. Blue Jackets are a beatable team. Islanders are a beatable team. Capitals are a beatable team. The Stars are good. The Devils, they stink, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, the Devils stink. They're beatable. The Bruins are beatable. The Hurricanes are obviously at the top of the division. The Blackhawks, I'm pretty sure, stink. Yeah, they're bad. The Blue Jackets, like I said, are beatable. Like, they have a pretty solid go the rest of the way. I don't know. If we go to moneypuck.com and look at the playoff chart, the Flyers right now have a 12% chance of making the playoffs. 12% chance to make the playoffs. There's a chance. It's not an ideal one, but there is a chance that they make the playoffs. They would need a lot of help, obviously. They would probably get in as the third wild card. There's a 2% chance they get in as the second. Or third in the division, excuse me. Wild card is 3% chance for the second wild card. I don't know, man. I don't know what I want them to do, quite honestly. It's just a fascinating thing that they've just gotten hot all of a sudden, and it's like, why couldn't you have consistently done this going into the Olympics and then coming out of the Olympics done the same thing? Please explain it to me. Same thing with our 76ers. The Sixers right now, after their loss to the Pistons on March 12th, so a week and a half ago or so, they beat the Grizzlies on March 10th, then they beat the Nets on March 14th, beat the Trailblazers, lost to the Nuggets, beat the Sacramento Kings, beat the Jazz. So since the month of March turned, they have won let's actually go from that date there. So since March 10th, they have won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of their last 7. They've got the Thunder, and Jared McCain's probably going to destroy us on Monday, but I digress. You've got the Bulls, the Hornets, the Heat, the Wizards, all upcoming. Timberwolves, Pistons, Spurs, Rockets, Pacers, Bucks. Right now they're sitting in the 7th seed. They would play the Hornets in the play-in. That's not great. You got to get ahead of the Hawks and ahead of the Raptors if you're the Sixers. I mean, I don't know. Maxi's been out. This team is wildly injured. VJ's playing his ass off. But a season that was shaping to have some pretty cool optimistic hope just went straight into the gutter as soon as Maxey got hurt in my book, and I was just like, just let the season come to an end. Put us out of our suffering. They're 6-4 in their last 10. They've won 2 in a row. I don't know, man. This team, they find ways to annoy me in so many fashions. And I don't know if playing in a play-in game does much for me. You know, it's you look at the top of the Eastern Conference with the Pistons, the Celtics, the Knicks, the Cavs, like they're all in the playoffs already. They've already clinched. The Sixers not beating any of those teams in a 7-game series currently constructed. The West is pretty much all clinched. Thunder, Spurs, Lakers, Rockets, Nuggets, Timberwolves, Suns, Clippers. Trailblazers are in the mix for the play-in. Warriors. That's really... The Warriors are kind of holding on for one last breath, but it's Trailblazers, Clippers, and the Warriors will probably be the 10 seed to get in for the play-in and kind of get stomped out early, but it's the Thunder, the Spurs, the Lakers, the Rockets, the Nuggets, the Timberwolves, the Pistons, Celtics, Knicks, Cavs, and that's really it. Like, the Raptors stink, the Hawks stink, the Sixers are not good, the Magic are fine, the Heat are fine, the Hornets are a fun story, but they're not good. I don't know. The NBA product to me is just really, really not in a good spot right now. It's boring. It's kind of just waiting for the Celtics or the Pistons to get matched up with either the Spurs or the Thunder, and that'll be your finals. And I don't know. I've just been very bored with the NBA for the last 2 or so months. It's kind of just a snooze fest for me. And yeah, that's where I'm at on the NBA right now. But the surprise Flyers and Sixers talk there, brought to you by our friends over at Biñho. Guys, we love Biñho here at Underground Sports Philadelphia. It is the next big tabletop game for your man cave, your she shed, your tailgates, your parties, your events. You break out the Biñho board, you are going to be the talk of your event. It's paper football meets foosball for the next big tabletop flicking experience. Guys, let me tell you, Biñho's dropping some heat lately. Biñho is dropping some heat lately. They have the brand new U.S. Soccer Stripes edition that looks absolutely sweet, now available for pre-order, inspired by the Team USA 2026 soccer home jersey. The live bracket is available now. So if you entered that, good luck for the Biñho madness. They've got the Biñho Classic Getting Lucky 2 edition, grass turf. They got the green turf, the Biñho Classic with the black turf. The 2026 World Cup collection is live for pre-orders, so definitely check all of those out while you can. The U.S. Soccer Retro Edition ships immediately right now. So check out all of the good stuff available on Biñho's website. Plus, they just dropped a whole bunch of new apparel and merchandise. New hats that look absolutely sweet. I got to order this black one. Big fan of that. They've got red, blue. The green one is unfortunately sold out, but your boys got that one. They've got shirts in stock once again. I'd love for them to put the camo hat back in stock, but don't know if that will happen. But use our link in the description. Shop with Biñho. They are truly the best in the game. And when you go to checkout, use code BiñhoBennett62. That's code BiñhoBennett62 to get 10% off your next purchase from our friends at Biñho. And that applies for the World Cup Edition pre-orders. That applies for anything on the website. Use our link in the description. Code BiñhoBennett62 at checkout gets you 10% off your next purchase from our friends at Biñho. And we thank Biñho for being a proud partner of Underground Sports Philadelphia. That is all I've got for you guys on this one. Make sure you're following us on the socials at Underground PHI on every social media platform. Follow us. Follow Underground Industries at the Underground Industries and at the U Industries on Twitter. Subscribe to the pod. Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts in audio form. Leave us a 5-star rating and review. It really helps the show continue to grow. It helps more people find the podcast wherever you get podcasts, so please subscribe. if you want to help support Underground Industries and Underground Sports Philadelphia as a podcast in and of itself. And subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel, youtube.com/@UndergroundSportsPhiladelphia. That is where you get full video episodes of this show twice a week. Full video episodes of all original 6 shows on our network, clips, shorts, live streams, original video content. It's all on our YouTube channel. It helps the show tremendously when you subscribe. So please subscribe to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/@UndergroundSportsPhiladelphia. Leave a like on the video, drop a comment in the comment section, and smash that bell icon so you know whenever new videos go live. Let's get to 1,300 subscribers before the end of the month. Let's make that happen. youtube.com/@UndergroundSportsPhiladelphia. And as you all know, this show is proudly presented by the city of Vineland. And whether you're a company looking to expand, relocate, or you're a new business startup, selecting the right location is critical to your success. Vineland, New Jersey offers both an affordable business location and an excellent quality of life. The city's economic development department is a one-stop source for moving your project through the development and approval process, and their goal is to make this process as smooth as possible and to provide the fastest turnaround times in the region. If you're considering potential locations for your operation, contact the Vineland Economic Development Team at 856-794-4100. That's 856-794-4100. Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season. And big thank you to Security 21 Security Systems and Paul J. Gillespie Incorporated for their continued support of this podcast. This has been episode number 831. And as you guys are listening to this, today would have been my incredible grandma's 96th birthday. She unfortunately passed away in 2020. She still is. She still is the GOAT. I miss her every day. She is truly a one of one. Nobody better. And she was such a huge fan and supporter of what we were doing at the forefront of this podcast. And I know she's looking over everything we're doing and rooting us on. So I just wanted to wish a happy 96th to my incredible grandma. The best in the biz. Shout out. My GOAT. This has been episode number 831 of Underground Sports Philadelphia. I'm your boy KB. Thanks for tuning in to another episode, everybody. I will talk to you all on Thursday as another round of the tournament gets going. And Phillies baseball will be here. I'll be at Citizens Bank Park on Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, and next Tuesday. Baseball is here. We'll have our baseball season preview, Phillies preview, tournament talk. It's going to be an awesome episode. But until then, enjoy the start to your week. Baseball will be here before we know it. And until Thursday, I will talk to you guys then. But until then, I'm getting that cup out of here, and I'm signing off. Peace.